Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live broadcast here in the Authentic Married Woman. My name is Karen Seitz, and I am a coach and a mentor for married women to teach them how to be the source of their own happiness, how to reclaim their sense of self and be grounded in who they are, how to have dreams again, and have a relationship with themselves as a way to change and solve the problems in their marriage. So today I wanted to come on and talk about why being nice to your husband doesn't work to change your marriage. And I have nice in quotations because we're going to look at what it actually means to be nice and why that doesn't work. We're going to look at the difference between being nice and being kind. And it fascinates me that every time I ask a client or I ask another woman if they know there's a difference between being nice and being kind, I always get the same response. Oh, absolutely. Being nice is kind of forced or going through the motions. It's something that I have to do or that is expected of me or something that I should do. And oftentimes the response I hear for what it means to be kind is that kindness comes from the heart. There's no agenda. It's just a natural expression of who you are. It's being the best version of yourself without wanting or needing anything back in return. There's a genuineness to it. And so, one of the things that I see time and time again in the Facebook group and that I hear from other women that I work with is, well, I've tried being nice. I've tried doing all the things to make my husband happy, to please him, to do the things that he likes or that he wants to do, and it doesn't work. And why should I keep trying? Why should I even try to continue being nice? It doesn't work. And I think a lot of times our message can be misconstrued that this is about being nice to your husband or doing the right things for your husband to get the marriage that you want. And that's not our message at all. That it's actually looking at how you've been disconnected from yourself, how you haven't had a relationship with yourself, and how you're unhappy on the inside, and how that causes you to put walls up in your marriage or in your relationship and push your husband away. And that when you have walls up and you push your husband away, then that's why you get the symptoms in your marriage: feeling alone, feeling trapped, feeling frustrated and stuck, um, feeling like you have nothing left to give, feeling used or taken advantage of. That when you have walls up, that pushes your husband away and causes those symptoms, so that when you can take your walls down, then your husband will respond to that. And the way you take your walls down is by building a relationship with yourself, reconnecting to who you are, taking responsibility for your happiness. And doing that, you show up happy in your relationship, and your husband responds to that. Your husband responds to you being grounded and solid in yourself, you taking responsibility for your happiness and opening your heart back up in your marriage and in your life. That's what he responds to. So sometimes I'll hear in comments, well, I've tried being nice to my husband. I've tried doing that and it doesn't work. And that's not what we're talking about. If you're trying to be nice, then yes, you're going to get more of the same. And that's what we really want to uncover today. And hello, everyone who is watching. I just got a comment in. Hi, Karen. So glad you can be here and excited to talk about this today. So let's dive in. So the myth that we're busting in this video is that if you do things to make your husband happy, then your marriage will get better. If you do things to try to be nice to your husband, if you do things to please him, that somehow your marriage will get better. And it doesn't work that way. That's not what we're talking about. There's a lot of books out there, a lot of other teachers and relationship experts that can teach, like, you need to do this for your husband, you need to um, need to say these things to him and say them in this way and he'll respond to that. But when we try to do those things and there's not a genuine intent underneath that, then it doesn't work. It's just going to leave you more frustrated. It's just going to leave you continuing to want to throw in the towel, continuing to say nothing I do ever works. And intention is everything. That in being nice, there's a fakeness to it. There's no you. And when you're being nice, because what happens when you're being nice is that you're doing what you think you're supposed to do. You're doing what you think your husband would like or appreciate. And there's no you in that. There's no choice that you're doing it for yourself. There's no choice that you're doing this because that's the kind of person you want to be. It's done from a place of wanting a certain result. It's done from a place, like I said, of doing what you think you're supposed to do or what's expected of you by your husband. And we call that a should. And we have several videos in our archives about should. So check those out when you get a chance. There's one I did a couple weeks ago called Living in the World of Shoulds. But when we're being nice in our marriage and trying to be nice to our husbands, you're coming from a place of doing it because you think that's what you're supposed to do. And so then what happens is you feel resentful because you're doing something that you don't really want to be doing. You're doing it because it's what you think you should be doing. You get bitter because nothing ever you ever do works, and then you use that as kind of validation. See, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to do the things to please him. I'm trying to be the good wife, and he doesn't respond. And then you give up even more. And then you get more of the same issues and more of the same symptoms and problems in your relationship. Um, y Again, you get bitter because you're not getting the response that you want. When we're doing things to be nice, we're often looking for a response. We're looking for validation. We're looking for our husbands to show up in the way that we want them to, that we think will somehow make us happy. And I want to remind you, in case you're new or because you need these reminders, because we forget often that one of the three principles that sets the framework for this group and what I'm teaching and what I want you to understand so that you can see what you have control over to change that can have a direct impact on your marriage is that you are 100% responsible for your happiness. There's nothing your husband can do or stop doing or start doing to make you happy. It doesn't work. So when you try to be nice and you try to do the things to please him to get some sort of response back in return, you're thinking that's somehow going to make you happy. The second principle we have is that you are the only person you have any control over to change. So a lot of times you'll do things to be nice. And I've been there. This is what I've had to learn and see in my own marriage. And I stumble and I go here and then I have to pick myself back up and just evaluate myself and recommit to being the best I can be just for me. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. But when we do things to be nice because we think that's what we're supposed to do or that's what we should do, and then hope to get something back in return, whether that's more attention or affection or appreciation from our husbands for them to notice us, we're wanting those things because we think they'll somehow change our experience for us, that it'll somehow change the relationship or change the problems we have in our marriage. And it can't because the only person you have any control over to change is yourself. And the third principle is that what it means to be authentic, what it means to be an authentic married woman or just an authentic woman, it's about having a relationship with yourself. It's about feeling good about who you are and then showing up fully as who you are, feeling good about yourself, being vulnerable, sharing who you are, not needing anything back in return. So when we're being nice, we're looking for a result. We're looking for some sort of response from our husband, and we're doing things that we think we're supposed to do or that we should do that will somehow bring us happiness in the relationship or fix the problems that we have. And that doesn't work. So all you get in return is more resentment and more bitterness, which actually then causes you to put your walls up even more, push your husband away even more, push yourself away even more. And then you get more of those symptoms. So the problem with being nice is that we still have our walls up, ladies. We're still holding on to past hurts. We're still guarding ourselves because we're scared of getting hurt even more. So we're not coming from a genuine place. When we have our walls up, we can't be connected to ourselves. One of the reasons I talk about walls so much isn't because of what that's doing to your husband or what that's doing to your marriage, is because I know what it's doing to you because I've been there. I know what it's like having my walls up. I know what I do to myself in that place. I isolate myself. I cut myself off from the people that I love. I don't feel good about myself. I'm scared. I'm scared of the world. I feel unsafe. And that's what we do to ourselves having our walls up. We can't find our true strength. We can't find who we truly are. We can't be genuine and kind, which actually allows us to feel really good about ourselves. So I talk about walls so much, yes, because it's impacting your marriage and creating the exact marriage that you have, and because you're hurting yourself. You're cutting yourself off and sabotaging yourself from the things that you really want, from the relationship that you want, from the life that you want. So deep when we have our walls up and we're being nice, it doesn't work. And these are the things that we do to try to be nice. So see if you can relate to these. See if you can see yourself in what I'm talking about and see yourself showing up this way in your marriage, not to beat yourself up or make yourself wrong or anything like that, but so you can actually change it. Because until we can see where we are at and what we're doing and what's coming up, we can't do anything about it. We can't change it. So I'm here to show you the things that you can change that will have a direct impact. And hi, everyone. I'm getting some lovely hi, Karen. So glad that you can be here enjoying. So thanks for tuning in. So let's look at some of the things that we do to be nice, to do the things we think we're supposed to do in our marriage for our husbands to try to make them happy or try to please them. And if you can think of some on your own and you know some of the ways that some of the things you do in your marriage to be nice that you don't really want to do, then go ahead and put those in the comments because I don't have all of them here, but I have a few examples. So when you're looking at yourself, what are the things that you do to be nice, but it's not coming from a genuine place? It's coming to get something, it's coming from a place to get something in return, or doing it because it's what you should do or what you're supposed to do. And let's see what we come up with. So, some of the things that I have, and you can read these in different books. These are suggestions that I've gotten from people and then tried them and then failed because they weren't coming from a genuine place in me. Now I can do these things from a genuine place, not for my husband, but because it's who I am and it's the kind of woman that I want to be. It's the showing up in personal integrity and being the best version of me that I can be, not for my husband or my marriage, but for me. Because when I'm coming from personal integrity, I feel good about myself and I believe in myself and I have confidence, and the same opportunity is available to you. But let's first look at what we do trying to be nice. That's really a should. So greeting your husband at the door with a smile and a hug and a kiss, or getting up and giving him a hug, um, wearing lingerie for your husband, dressing sexy to try to get a response from him, trying to give him space and not nagging or not nitpicking, suggesting that he have a guy night or do something for himself, that you'll watch the kids, you'll take the kids for the night and he can go do his own thing, doing the things that he likes to do. One of my favorite examples of this that I give all the time is my husband loves hiking. I don't love hiking. I actually just I don't like to hike, which is an oxymoron because I live in Colorado, and if you live in Colorado, you should love hiking, but I don't. And a couple months ago, I've known for a while I don't like hiking, and I knew I wasn't showing up the best I could in my marriage, and so I was trying to do things to be nice instead of just showing back up. And I suggested to my husband that we go for a hike. And I was miserable the whole time because I don't like hiking and I was trying to be nice and I was just resentful and bitter the whole time. So anyways, doing the things that he likes to do. Um, Making a nice dinner for him, having sex. These are all things that we can do from a place trying to be nice to our husbands, trying to get a certain response, trying to do what we think we're supposed to do to have a better marriage, and it doesn't work. What ends up happening actually when we do these things to be nice is we end up feeling bitter. We've been talking about that. We end up feeling resentment, feeling alone, and like nothing works. I've tried everything. I've tried being nice. I've tried making him happy, read all the books, and it doesn't work. You end up feeling alone. You feel used. A lot of times when we're being nice and doing something as a should, there's no you in it. That you're not making a choice for yourself. You're doing it for something or someone outside of you, hoping to get something back in return. Usually unconsciously, we might tell ourselves, "No, I'm doing it from, just to be nice, just to be kind." But underneath, if we get real honest with ourselves, there's these ulterior motives and secret agendas, even if it's just wanting a thank you or wanting to be noticed in some way. So we end up feeling used or taken advantage of, feeling unappreciated or feeling empty, um, like you're giving everything you can, but you get nothing back in return. So you end up feeling empty, like there's nothing left to give. And again, like I said before, feeling taken advantage of. So one of the areas I see this pop up the most, in working with other women, it's something that I had to work through in my own marriage and have to catch in myself and be open and honest about when I'm coming from this place, is when we have sex as a way to be nice, or we have sex because we think that's what we should be doing, or that that's what our husbands want. And if you can relate to that and think of the times that you've had sex for your husband, not for yourself, not to enjoy you and to have that experience for yourself, but you're doing it for him. How do you end up feeling afterwards? And if you're anything like the other women I've worked with or anything like me, you end up feeling used, taken advantage of. You feel checked out, like you're not getting the experience that you want. And that's because of our intentions underneath it. And we're not there. We're doing it again as a should because we think that we're supposed to, or we think that we have to. So you might be wondering, okay, then what's the solution to this? And the solution is to learn how and to practice kindness, to learn how to be kind and to practice kindness. That there is a totally different flavor and experience when you do things from a place of kindness rather than doing things from a place of being nice. And when we're kind, there's a genuineness to it. You're coming from a genuine place with no expectation of getting anything back in return. Um, and being kind to me and how I experience this is because it's who I want to be, not for anybody else, not because anybody's watching or anybody cares, but because I want to live from a place of personal integrity. I want to be the best version of me that I can be. I want to be kind and caring. I want to be responsible for myself and to show up as the best version that I can be, to be open-hearted, to be thoughtful, because that's what helps me to feel good about myself. When we're doing things from a place of being nice and we have all that resentment underneath, building up, and that bitterness building up, that hurts us. um, we don't feel good about ourselves from that place because when we're carrying all that resentment, or we have hidden agendas that we may or may not be conscious of, what we don't recognize is how that makes us feel bad about ourselves. That living in that place, having that resentment, having that bitterness or constant disappointment, that builds up internally inside of us, and then you don't feel good about yourself. So when you practice kindness for yourself, that's the key. It's not for anybody else. It's not for others. It's for you, and then others get to benefit. But you're doing it for yourself to feel good about yourself and to be in integrity with yourself. I cannot stress enough how important personal integrity is to have a happy, healthy marriage, to feel good about yourself, to have a happy, healthy relationship with yourself, to be happy internally. The key is personal integrity. And to me, being kind and being genuine in how I am showing up is a practice of personal integrity, and there's nothing that will empower you in your life, in your marriage, in your different relationships, like practicing personal integrity. And so that's what you get when you're being kind. You're just being the best version of you. You're being genuine. You don't need anything back in return. You don't even need the other person to notice because you're doing it for yourself, not in a selfish way, but to be the best version of you. When you're being nice, you're doing it for someone else. And that's where those hidden expectations are and those hidden agendas. And it's not coming from a genuine kind place. It actually underneath and unconsciously is coming from a selfish place. So it's a flip for us to think of, well, wait, if I do it for myself, then that's selfish or that's not good. But when you're kind, you are doing it for yourself. And then the others around you, the things in your life get the benefit of you doing those things for yourself, just to be kind, just to feel good about yourself. And here's what you get in your marriage when you practice kindness. And I can hear it. I know the internal fight that comes up with this. Why should I be kind to him? You don't know my husband. You don't know our past, our hurts, our history. I understand that. And that's why you can't be kind with your walls up. When we hold on to the past, when we hold on to hurts, um, we're guarding ourselves. And so we can't come from a place of kindness because we're protecting ourselves from getting hurt again. So, in order to practice kindness, you've got to be vulnerable. You've got to be willing to put yourself out there to just show up as you, not looking for anything in return. And when you do that, not only do you get the benefit of having your walls down and experiencing yourself fully and being connected to yourself, your husband will actually respond. And that's kind of the catch 22 because you can't do it. You can't be kind from a place of wanting your husband to respond. But what will naturally happen is that your husband will respond and he'll show up as the good man that he is. When you have your walls down and you're practicing kindness and you're showing up in personal integrity, exactly what you've been wanting, trying to do the nice things to get those responses, you actually get that as a natural result of you showing up as yourself and letting your walls down in your marriage and practicing kindness. You'll have connection and intimacy again in your marriage. You won't feel drained and used anymore. You will have plenty of energy because when you're practicing kindness and you're practicing personal integrity, you fill yourself up with you and you feel vibrant and you feel alive and you have plenty to give in your relationships because when you're giving from a place of kindness, it fills you up and there's never any shortage of you or ability to be kind. Um, there will be a lightness in your marriage and a playfulness and fun again. You won't feel desperate to solve the issues. I know that place of being in a panic and feeling like your marriage is an emergency and that the problems in your marriage are an emergency. There can be a lightness and an ease and a knowing that you're taking steps forward just by being connected to you, just by having your walls down, practicing personal integrity, practicing kindness. And to me, um, even though this, we can sometimes kind of push this aside, but I promise there's no greater experience of you in your life, in your marriage, than feeling good about yourself. So when you practice kindness and you're being the best that you can be, and you're showing up genuinely in your life and in your marriage, you feel really good about yourself. So you get a massive benefit in return by just being yourself and just being genuine. So, in wrapping up, what I wanted to come on and talk about today is how often I hear, I've tried being nice to my husband, I've tried doing the things to make him happy, to please him, and it doesn't work. And I get it. You're right. It doesn't work to be nice because when we're being nice, there is not a genuineness to it. We're looking for a response. We're doing it because we think we should do it. And so we just end up feeling resentful and bitter and like nothing we do ever works or that we're never enough. Nothing I do is ever enough because we're not getting that response that we're looking for in being nice. So the solution is to practice kindness and recognizing there's a big difference between being kind and being nice. And being kind is coming from a genuine place within you where you have personal integrity, where your walls are down and you're showing up as the best version of you, not for your husband, not for anybody else, but just for you to feel good about yourself. And when you do that, it's like magic in your marriage. Those symptoms of you having your walls up, of being nice, the feeling alone, the bitterness, the resentment, feeling empty, and like you have nothing left to give, feeling stuck in being roommates, all of that goes away when you just work on personal integrity, being kind, and having that relationship with yourself, which all the result of all of that is actually being able to drop your walls. So that's what I wanted to come on and talk to you about today. And if you're watching and you're finally at that place where you don't want to go one more day faking it in your marriage, trying to be nice, running up against all these same problems again and again and again. You're tired of feeling like nothing works. You've read all the books, you've read the five love languages, you've read Respect and Love or Love and Respect. You've done couples counseling, you've done individual counseling, and none of it works, but you're in a place where you are ready to change and you're committed to change, and this speaks to you. You know you have your walls up, you see the effects that has in your marriage, and you're ready to change that, then I am here to support you and help you in doing that. So you can go to anewlc.com/talk and book a free breakthrough call with me. And we will get on the phone for an hour and help you get crystal clear on what the issues are in your marriage, what the things that you're running up against in yourself, looking at what it's like having your walls up, looking at why what you're doing isn't working. And then I will help you see what you do need to do and help you come up with a game plan for what will work for you to solve the issues in your marriage and what will work for you to have a connection to yourself again and to be happy within yourself. So you can go to anewlc.com/talk and we'll get on the phone for an hour. And it will be one of the best hours that you have spent on yourself and your marriage in a long time. So thank you all for watching and being here today. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will be live another time this week, not sure yet when yet, but pay attention and I'll be there. And I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.